When data binding to lists, you face somewhat different challenges than when data binding to individual objects. To see what's involved, let's create a new project called Data Binding Lists. We'll begin by creating, once again, an employee class. And our employee class will be identical to the one that we had before, except that we're going to add a new static method called getEmployees, plural. GetEmployees is going to create an observable collection. Let's add the necessary using statements all around. An observable collection is much like an object that implements iNotifyPropertyChanged. With an observable collection, the view will be notified of any addition to or deletion from the collection. By putting observable objects inside an observable collection, any change whatsoever will be sent to the view. Our getEmployees method creates a new observable collection and then adds 5 employees, setting the name and title of each, and returns that collection. Let's turn to our view in mainWindow.xaml, and what we are going to do in the grid is create a combo box. The items source property is what is used for binding a collection to a combo box or list box or other display for lists. You can set the item source in your code behind, or you can bind it as we're doing here, and that says to bind it to whatever is set as the data context. I'm going to set the font size to 30 to make the entries a little bit larger, and I'll set the height and width of the combo box itself. If all I do is create the combo box and then go to the code behind and set the data context equal to employee getEmployees and run the application, we've not quite given it enough information. It knows to get its item source from the employees collection, but when we open it up, all we find is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 employee objects, but it has no idea what to display about those employee objects. For that, we need to give it a little bit of help, and we do that with a template. Let's return to the XAML, and inside the combo box, between the opening and closing tag, we're going to add a combo box item template. An item template describes what each item should look like. The item template that is supported is a data template, and inside the data template, we simply create the XAML for an individual item, and that will be repeated for each item. In our case, we're going to have a horizontal stack panel with the prompt and the name, and then the title with a prompt. So the first thing we add to the combo box is a stack panel whose orientation is horizontal. We set a small margin of 2. And then we have a text block to act as the prompt for the name, a text block that binds to the name, and in this case it will bind to the name property of each object in turn in the collection, then a prompt for the title, and a text block to bind to the title. Let's run the application again. And now we get a combo box that has the contents as we intended, and we can pick any of these and make it the current item in the combo box.